If you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Weekend Recap on the Courtside Financial Podcast, a segment where we bring you a compilation of everything that went down throughout the week from a stories perspective. Before we get into this video, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any content that's coming in the future. First up, in a shocking move that could recharge the entire EV landscape, NIO's power unit is partnering up with Anhui's Zhonggan. Well, what's the scoop here? The company and NIO Power are teaming up to construct 1,000 battery swapping stations in China. That's right, they're trying to create more and more pit stops for your electric vehicle. NIO Power VP Shen Fei spilled the beans on this, saying they're building an open energy network and battery asset management system. It's like they're laying down the tracks for a futuristic train, but instead of running on coal, this train's running on electron. But wait, there's more. Anhui Province Energy Group and Anhui Transportation Holding Group are also in cahoots with NIO. They're throwing their weight behind Zhonggan to make sure that these battery swapping stations get online as quickly as possible. And get this, they're not stopping in Anhui. They're gunning for all of China, from the Yangtze River to who knows where. These swapping stations are spreading like a wildfire. Talk about electrifying progress. But hey, not all today's stories are about charging forward. Sometimes you gotta pay the price for misleading investors. Just ask Steve Burns, former big shot at Lordstown Motors. Burns finds himself in some hot water with the US Securities and Exchange Commission. It seems he might have been stretching the truth about demand for Lordstown Motors' all-electric pickup truck. The SEC slapped him with a $175,000 fine and a ban from spearheading any publicly traded company for the next 2 years. But hold on to your hat, because the plot definitely thickens. Lordstown Motors emerges from their bankruptcy with vengeance, blaming iPhone manufacturer Foxconn for putting the brake on their business. So some more courtroom drama, which will definitely follow. And now for the piece de resistance. We've got a tech mogul eyeing the social media sphere. That's right, Kevin O'Leary, the shark himself, is spinning circles around TikTok with a deal that could make your head spin. O'Leary's not playing games, folks. He's looking for a steal, offering up to 90% off of the valuation. But here's the kicker, he's banking on a $20 billion to $30 billion bid, and he's ready to roll the house on White House approval. In our last video, we talked about how there's so much regulatory red tape around ByteDance being able to sell TikTok. That's a huge transaction. The time that they've been given is like 6 months or so. So it's something that's pushing a lot of investors away. However, there still is a line of many investors eyeing TikTok, not just Kevin O'Leary. With a whirlwind of negotiations, political intrigue, and a dash of algorithmic alchemy, O'Leary's cooking up the deal of the century. It's like watching a high-stakes poker game. But instead of chips, they're betting on algorithms. So will O'Leary reel in the deal of a lifetime, or will TikTok dance to a different tune? Stay tuned, folks, because this saga's far from over. Our first pit stop takes us back into the exciting world of NIO's sub-brand Onvo once again. William Li, the brains behind NIO, he's chairman and founder, took to social media, went live on a platform called Douyin to give us a sneak peek of Onvo's first model. Can you imagine the excitement here? It's like getting a backstage pass into the future of innovation.
看一看啊。我是1.8米的身高啊，大家看这个空间还满意吧？
Now, folks, you might be wondering, what's the scoop of this sleek new ride? Well, let me tell you, the Onvo L60 is gearing up to go head-to-head with Tesla's Model Y. Lee hinted that it might even come with a friendly pocket price tag. So all you Tesla aficionados out there, hold on to your steering wheels because the competition just got a whole lot juicier. But that's not all. Lee's not just revving up engines, he's fueling the flames of education and innovation. Did you catch the live stream on Douyin? It It wasn't just about showcasing cars, it was also about giving back. Lee's generosity poured in 33,000 RMB in donations, all of which will be fueling the aspirations of future automotive engineers through the Formula Student Program. Talk about driving change, am I right? Now, shifting gears, let's move on to NOP Plus, Navigate on Pilot Plus. The race is on as NIO recruits over 20k pilot testers for their navigation system. NOP Plus is the ultimate driving companion. It's really the future of assisted driving. But remember, safety first. NOP Plus might be cutting edge tech, but it's not autonomous driving. So buckle up, enjoy the ride, but keep those hands on the wheel. And of course, your eyes on the road. That's right, everyone. Reddit, the digital coliseum where the internet's gladiators clash in verbal combat, has officially gone public. According to our friends at TechCrunch, our source for today's video, Reddit stock closed its first day of trading with a stratospheric surge. It's up 48%. That's a very, very, very substantial gain. But hold on to your hats, my financial thrill seekers. We're just getting warmed up with today's story. Despite Reddit's meteoric rise, it's still sailing through unprofitable skies, with net losses clocking in over $90 million last year. Reddit's not just an ordinary social media juggernaut. This platform holds the golden keys to AI's future. That's right, folks, Reddit's got an AI ace up its sleeve. It raked in a cool $203 million by selling data contracts to AI-hungry companies last year. Think of Reddit as a treasure vault of data, a veritable goldmine for those hungry large language model AI companies. And you know what they say, data is the new gold. But wait, before you go all in on Reddit stock, buckle up for a twist. The FTC has entered the fray. They're launching an inquiry into Reddit's plan to license its user data. Will this investigation cast a shadow over Reddit's AI aspirations, or will it emerge unscathed like a phoenix rising from the ashes? Only time will tell, my friends. Now let's talk turkey about tech triumphs. Reddit's IPO extravaganza is bigger than just Reddit. It's a victory lap for the entire tech industry. With Astera's blockbuster IPO still ringing in our ears, the tech IPO game is heating up faster than a silicone chip in a furnace. But hey, don't pop champagne just yet. Remember everyone, initial success doesn't always mean that it's going to be that way for the long haul. Many tech IPOs from yesteryears have hit some turbulent skies after their initial spikes in euphoria. However, as the saying goes, charts that point up are more bullish than charts that don't. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and our eyes on the charts. Not that I'm invested in Reddit anyway. And what about the question that looms over our heads like a dark cloud? Will the IPO window stay ajar, allowing more tech titans to go public? Well, if the Nasdaq's recent acrobatics are any indication, then we just might witness an IPO renaissance like no other. So picture this, you're a longtime Android user longing for the sweet embrace of those blue bubbles, those coveted iMessage features that make iPhone users feel like the VIPs of the messaging world. Well, fear not, Beeper rode in like a knight in shining armor, armed with a solution to bring iMessage over to Android. Sound too good to be true? Well, it was until Apple stepped in with its proverbial Excalibur to thwart Beeper's mission. According to our friends over at TechCrunch, our source for this video, Beeper, the brainchild of Eric Majakovsky, the mastermind behind Pebble's smartwatches, managed to crack the code, reverse engineering iMessage to offer Android users the full Monty. End-to-end encrypted chats, group messages, reactions, pretty much everything. But like any good tale of David versus Goliath, the plot thickens. Apple flexed its muscles, knocking down Beeper's castle brick by brick. And the Department of Justice weighed into the fray, wielding its own sort of justice, accusing Apple of playing dirty, manipulating third parties and stifling innovation to maintain its own competitive edge. And let's not forget our cameo from FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr. He's like the Gandalf of tech regulation, calling for an investigation into Apple's actions. But wait, there's more. The DOJ's complaints read like a blockbuster of screenplay, accusing Apple of not just crushing Beeper's dreams, but also squashing the hopes of third-party smartwatch developers. It's like Apple saw Pebble's playbook, ripped out the best pages and left the rest to wither in digital wasteland. The lawsuit alleges that Apple's not just playing hardball, it's rewriting the rules of the game. They're accused of giving third-party smartwatch developers the scraps from their table while feasting on the choicest cuts with their Apple Watch. Talk about a monopoly on time. So what's the moral of our tech saga today? Well, it's a cautionary tale of power and control, innovation squandered, and dreams diminished. But fear not, listeners, for every Goliath, there's a David. And Apple might one day face its own reckoning. That's all we have time for today, folks. But remember, the world of tech is ever spinning, and we'll be here to break it all down for you. In the red corner, we have none other than Senator Elizabeth Warren. She's throwing down the gauntlet once again. And in the blue corner, we have none other than the space explorer, Elon Musk. So what's all the fuss about this time? Well, strap yourselves in because Senator Elizabeth Warren is calling for an investigation into Tesla, Elon Musk, and the whole shebang over at the SEC. She's waving the flag on governance issues, alleging possible misappropriation of Tesla resources and conflicts of interest with Elon Musk having a dual role, being over at X, formerly known as Twitter. But wait, there's more. Senator Elizabeth Warren isn't pulling any punches. She's citing recent events like the Delaware Chancery Court ruling. In this ruling, it found that Musk-controlled Tesla and its board breached their fiduciary responsibility. And get this, folks, Tesla's stock has taken a little bit of a nosedive, down 30% this year. But hold on to your hats because Elon Musk, being the person he is, isn't taking this lying down. He's firing back with some spicy remarks, suggesting that Senator Elizabeth Warren might be getting advice from unexpected corner. Cue the drama. Musk, never one to shy away from controversy, is pointing fingers at Sam Bankman-Fried, also known as SBF, who we already know is having his own share of legal trouble. And get this, SBF's dad allegedly advised Senator Warren on economic and tax matters. Talk about a plot twist. Now, as the tension mounts, the SEC is gearing up for another round with Musk. They've had their fair share of run-ins, especially after Musk tweet about taking Tesla private at $420 a share. Looks like the SEC isn't just ready to let bygones be bygones. So what's next for this saga? Will the SEC take Senator Elizabeth Warren's concerns seriously? Will Musk continue to ruffle feathers? Probably. Our story begins with a bombshell of a revelation from none other than FTX CEO John Ray. In an electrifying letter addressed to Judge Lewis Kaplan, Ray paints a picture of deception, delusion, and despair orchestrated by Sam Bankman-Fried. Bankman-Fried, otherwise known as SBF, seems to have pulled every trick out of his hat in a desperate bid to dodge the long arm of the law. From claiming innocence to touting his so-called effective altruism, SBF spun a tangled web of lies to secure a lighter sentence. But hold on to your seats, folks, because Ray isn't having any of it. He's here to set the record straight and expose SBF's deceitful ways. Ray's words cut like a knife as he unveils the true extent of the damage caused by the downfall of FTX. SBF's claims of innocence fall flat as Ray unveils a staggering $10 billion in lost funds and a jaw-dropping 23.6 quintillion in stakeholder claims. Yes, you heard that right, quintillion with a Q. That's a massive number. But it doesn't end there, dear listeners. Ray takes us on a ride through SBF's string of lies, exposing each falsehood with surgical precision. From false promises of full recovery to hindering asset preservation, SBF's deceit seems to have known no bounds. But perhaps the most shocking piece of it all is that SBF seems to have twisted the definition of effective altruism. What was once hailed as a beacon of hope has now been exposed as nothing more than a facade, a mirage crafted to mask SBF's nefarious deeds. As the dust settles and Judgment Day looms, Ray leaves us with a sobering truth. SBF's victims continue to suffer. Behind every number, every claim lies a human cost that can't be ignored. So, as we await Judge Kaplan's verdict, let us not forget the lessons learned in this cautionary tale. In a world where greed and deception run rampant, it's up to us to stay vigilant and keep the wolves at bay. Now picture this, drones buzzing over our heads, robots plucking berries, and lasers zapping weeds faster than you can say organic. It's not a futuristic fantasy anymore, it is the reality of modern agriculture. Courtesy of our source CBS News, we're taking a peek into this high-tech revolution. First up, Helio, a Houston-based high-tech marvel. They've got the green light from the Federal Aviation Administration to unleash heavy drones out into our farmlands. These drones, some weighing as much as 400 pounds, they're not your average backyard gadgets. They're armed with AI and they're spraying fertilizer with pinpoint precision. Moreover, crop dusting planes, the World Agricultural Expo is a veritable tech extravaganza. From autonomous crop sprayers to AI-powered berry-picking robots, the future of farming is looking mighty shiny. And let's not forget about Rubli's Amiga, an all-electric robotic micro-tractor. Something that sounds like it's straight out of Silicon Valley dreams. Who knew farmers would be trading their pitchforks for coding keyboards? Now you might be thinking, Obi, what about the human touch? Where's that going? What's happening to that these days? But fear not, because even in this age of automation, there's still room for growth in that department. Take Carbon Robotics Laser Weeder for instance. This tool uses lasers to zap weeds at astonishing speeds. It's not just about efficiency, it's about transforming an industry that needed change. But, and it's a big but folks, not everyone's standing in the stands cheering. Meet Lulu Cardenas, a seasoned farm worker who's seen it all. When faced with the prospect of drones and robots taking over her turf, she's understandably wary. And she's not alone. Many farm workers are being left behind in this tech frenzy. It's a tale as old as time. Progress comes with a price. But fear not, my friends, because where there's change, there's opportunity. Asuncion Ponce, another farm worker, knows this all too well. Despite the challenges and hurdles, he still sees a path forward, and he's not alone. Advocacy groups and forward-thinking farms are stepping up to the plate here, offering training programs to help workers adapt and thrive in this changing environment. And what about Uncle Sam? Because he's always there no matter what we're talking about. The U.S. Department of Labor isn't just sitting on the sidelines for this one. They're gearing up to send to President Biden a list of recommendations for aiding displaced farm workers. It's a glimmer of hope in an uncertain landscape. So everyone, as we bid adieu to another interesting episode of the Courtside Financial Podcast, let's remember that change is inevitable, but how we address it is what defines us. From drones in the sky to robots in the field, the future of farming seems to be bright, my friend. So our expedition in today's episode begins with William Li, the luminary architect or CEO behind NIO, and Chang Li from Cheon. In this illuminating dialogue, Li disclosed NIO's plans for 2024, charting a course for yet another monumental year in the world of electric vehicles. William Li says that, yes, a lot of people are saying that NIO has in fact invested a lot of money. He said that since last year, their R&D investment has brought forth some positive results for everyone to see. So it appears NIO isn't actually just throwing a ton of money into R&D just for show. It seems like they're investing with discernment and precision. With a staggering $1.86 billion invested into R&D in the previous year alone, NIO's steadfast in its commitment to pushing the boundaries of innovation and redefining the future of transportation in turn. But what marbles lie within the crucible of NIO's laboratory? Well, according to William Li, 2024 is designated with some clarity, fortifying the sales network, expanding the battery swapping and charging infrastructure, introducing a second brand, and unleashing next generation models. Well, let's delve into NIO's second brand. Lei Dao in Chinese and Onvo in English. Li envisions it as a transformative force for families, offering seamless solutions that blend affordability and performance. With an unwavering focus on enhancing the driving experience, whatever you want to call it, Lei Dao or Onvo is poised to emerge as the quintessential choice for families seeking boundless adventures on the open road. But the excitement doesn't really end there. NIO's primed to unveil yet another sub-brand. Aside from Onvo, there's going to be Firefly, and these two brands are meticulously crafted to cater to the needs of budget-conscious consumers. And that's without compromising on safety or performance. Priced at under 200,000 RMB, Firefly is poised to ignite a storm in the entry-level EV market. Now let's pivot to NIO's interactive approach to energy management. Imagine this: battery swap stations strategically positioned across the highways, seamlessly interacting with the grid to stabilize power supply. It looks to transform every pit stop into a nexus of energy exchange. However, NIO's ambition transcends the confines of automotive prowess. They're obviously ardent advocates for sustainability. By harnessing sustainable energy sources like photovoltaic systems, NIO's not merely reducing its carbon footprint, it's pioneering a new path towards a greener, more sustainable future. And let's not overlook NIO's global aspiration. NIO has an eye on expansion towards international frontiers, and they're poised to ascend as a preeminent player in the global EV landscape. From North America to Europe and beyond, NIO's gearing up to electrify the world 1 kilowatt at a time. Amidst the exhilaration and innovation, NIO remains tethered to its foundational ethos, with an unwavering commitment to its long-term strategy and an insatiable thirst for excellence. NIO isn't merely driving change, it's spearheading the movement towards a brighter tomorrow. As I mentioned, today our spotlight shines on Nvidia, the tech juggernaut that's been setting the stage for the AI revolution. But hold on to your wallets, because CEO of Nvidia Jensen Huang just dropped a bombshell of an announcement on Jim Cramer on CNBC today. Huang revealed that Nvidia's latest chip, codenamed Blackwell, is not going to be your average bargain buy. Nope, this piece of technology is going to set you back $30K to $40K per unit. Now, before you go press rewind, you heard me correctly. This piece of technology is not just going to come from pocket change, folks. Huang went on to explain that this isn't just your grandma's chip. Nvidia pulled out all the stops here, investing a staggering $10 billion into R&D just to bring Blackwell to market. It's like the Ferrari of chips, sleek, powerful, and has a price tag to match. Now you might be wondering, why does it cost so much? Well folks, it's not just about the chip itself. Huang spilled the beans, indicating it's also about designing data centers and integrating into other companies' systems as well. Talk about going the extra mile here. But hey, when you're at the forefront of innovation, you've got to pay to play, right? And I would argue that Nvidia knows a thing or two about staying ahead of the curve. They've been turning out new generations of AI chips every couple of years, each one faster and more efficient than the last. And let me tell you folks, the demand for these bad boys is through the roof, with tech giants like Meta, Microsoft, Tesla, all lining up to get Nvidia's chip that we talked about in our last Nvidia episode, the H100 chip, which is currently pretty supply constrained due to high demand. It's pretty clear that the AI revolution is in full swing. I mean, we can't have a business and technology channel without talking about AI these days. Now, Nvidia likes to keep their cards close to their chest when it comes to pricing, but when it comes to this chip, it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all deal. Depending on factors like volume and whether you're buying direct or through a vendor, pricing could vary. But fear not, everyone. Nvidia has different flavors of chips for everyone, with not one, not two, but 3 flavors of Blackwell. From the B100 to the GB200, there's a Blackwell for every need and budget. So anyways, that's the bombshell of today's news from Nvidia, who is dominating the AI market, arguably, not even arguably, they just are. Our spotlight today shines brightly on 2 of the biggest names in the tech sphere, Apple and Google. Now, if you've been following the headlines, you might have caught wind of some intriguing talks between the 2 firms. According to a report from Axios, our source here, Apple has been in talks with Google to integrate Gemini, Google's AI models, into their new iPhone. But why is this partnership causing a stir? Google stands to gain access to Apple's ginormous user base, boasting a staggering 2.2 billion devices, predominantly iPhones, but this would catapult Google to the forefront of the AI arms race, enhancing its capabilities on an unprecedented scale. And for Apple, well, the benefits are tantalizing. By incorporating cutting-edge AI into their smartphones, Apple could reignite consumer demand for its products, breathing new life into its product lineup. Now, tech analyst Ben Thompson puts it perfectly, stating, "This partnership, should it come into fruition, would make massive sense for both sides. and it seems that investors agree, with Google shares soaring 4.4% on the announcement and Apple witnessing a notable 2.7% jump. But as with any major collaboration between two tech giants, there's always a regulatory cloud looming on the horizon. The long-standing partnership between Apple and Google, particularly in the realm of default search engines, has already drawn scrutiny from the Department of Justice. And with the FTC closely monitoring AI investments by industry giants like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, any move by Apple to integrate this would certainly draw regulatory attention. Speaking of AI, Apple has been making its own strides in developing its own generative AI. And let's not forget the whispers of iOS 18, Apple's next mobile operating system, poised to introduce some groundbreaking features. So where does Gemini fit into all of this? Well, according to reports, Apple is eyeing Gemini. Along with other AI platforms, they want to power innovative functionalities such as image creation and text generation. It's been rumored that Apple has even been engaging in discussions with OpenAI, further fueling speculations about the company's AI ambitions. But hold on to your hats, everyone, because the plot certainly thickens. These talks come hot on the heels of Apple's upcoming developer conference in June, where CEO Tim Cook hinted at a major announcement slated for later this year. Further developments, one thing's for certain: the tech landscape is evolving at a breakneck speed, and partnerships like this could reshape the entire industry as we know it. Picture this: Oprah Winfrey, the queen of empowerment, the titan of talk shows, making headlines for an unexpected departure from her brand, Weight Watchers. Talk about a plot twist. Last December, Oprah dropped a bombshell, revealing her use of weight loss medication, sending shockwaves throughout the health and wellness community. But why did she step down from her role at Weight Watchers after almost a decade? Let's unravel the mystery together. Fast forward to an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, where Oprah spilled the tea on her decision. She confessed that with her upcoming documentary, Shame, Blame, and the Weight Loss Revolution, she wanted to speak the truth without any corporate ties pulling her strings. I mean, who wouldn't want to keep it real when tackling such a hot button issue? By the way, this story is cited from the news company Mirror. Check them out. My first time reading the blog, but pretty good. Anyways, there's more. Oprah didn't just ghost Weight Watchers. She left a note on the fridge. In a bold move, she donated her shares in the organization to the National Museum of American History, saying, "Take that, conflict of interest." Talk about a mic drop moment. Now let's rewind to Oprah's confession. Her confession about using weight loss medication. In an interview with People, she spilled the beans on her struggle with self-blame and her journey to self-acceptance. It's like watching a superhero embrace their superpower. It's empowering, it's inspiring, it's Oprah. As we wrap up this roller coaster, one thing's for sure: Oprah Winfrey isn't just a talk show host. She's a force of nature. Her departure from Weight Watchers, well, it isn't just about business. It's about owning your truth, standing tall in it, and saying, "I am enough." Fisker, the electric vehicle startup that's been making waves in the automobile industry, finds itself at a crossroads. With just $121 million in the bank, they've hit the brakes on production. This is clearly sending shockwaves throughout the market, but let's take a deeper dive. According to a regulatory filing, Fisker's cash reserves stand at $121 million. And they have a significant portion of that $121 million locked up. With accounts payable reaching $182 million, the company clearly faces a daunting challenge. Can they keep the wheels turning without a capital injection? Well, it's not just the balance sheet that's concerning. Fisker's rollout of the Ocean SUV has hit some rough patches. Reports of software glitches and subpar customer service. These things are also mirroring its journey. And with investigations from the National Highway Traffic Administration looming over its head due to some rollaway issues, the road ahead seems fraught with obstacles. Despite the setback, Fisker managed to deliver 1,300 vehicles in the first 2 months of the year with sizable inventory still on hand. But with production halted and dealer partnerships faltering, the company's future hangs in the balance. But wait, there might be a glimmer of hope on the horizon. Fisker is in talks with another automaker regarding a potential partnership, possibly securing the lifeline that they so desperately need. Rumors point to Nissan as a suitor, but nothing set in stone yet. In the short term, Fisker aims to raise $150 million in capital through the sale of convertible notes. A deal with an undisclosed investor is in the works, though it's still subject to various conditions. Will this influx of cash be enough for Fisker to steer clear of the danger? Time is of the essence for Fisker as they navigate through these troubled waters. With annual results for 2023 overdue and default triggers looming, the pressure mounts with each passing day. Can they navigate these choppy financial seas, or will they be forced to rethink their strategy? That's all we have time for in this installment. I want to know what you guys think about Fisker and its venture back into the new energy vehicle space. So imagine this, you're at a swanky NIO event in Wuhan, surrounded by sleek electric vehicles, and the crowd is buzzing with anticipation. Suddenly, like a modern day magician, CEO William Li steps in. He steps in and drops a bombshell that the NIO Phone 2 is officially ready to rock and roll. Now, we all know what you're thinking. We've had this discussion plenty of times. NIO, the car company making phones, what's next? Flying cars? Well, hold on to your hats. According to William Li, and I'm paraphrasing, but this move is more strategic than a chess game on steroids. Picture this, while tech giants like Huawei and Xiaomi are revving up their engines to enter the automotive arena, NIO isn't content to sit back and watch. Nope, they're whipping out their own playbook and diving headfirst into the smartphone scene. It's like watching a high-stakes poker game, but instead of chips, they're betting on connectivity. And everyone, this isn't your grandmother's smartphone release schedule. Forget about the annual iPhone frenzy. NIO's playing it cool with a once-a-year drop of their phones annually. It's like waiting for Christmas morning, but instead of digging into your stockings, you're unwrapping a piece of cutting-edge tech that can make your head spin. And there's more, so buckle up, because we're about to dive into the details of what makes the NIO Phone 2 a game changer. Not only does it sync up with NIO vehicles like a match made in heaven, but it also packs enough punch to control 30 vehicle functions in just the tap of your finger. Talk about putting the power of a supercar in your pocket. But you gotta be patient, because here comes the plot twist. NIO's tossing in free phones for lucky customers that are snagging up their 2024 model. All about freebies. It's like getting a cherry on top of your already delicious sundae. And if you thought that NIO was done flexing their muscles, think again. Their sales team is hitting social media platforms harder than a wrecking ball at a demolition derby, showing off the seamless integration between their phones and their vehicles. It's like watching a symphony conductor weave magic into every stroke of their baton. So what's the moral of the story here? Well, my friends, in a world where staying connected is key, NIO isn't just opening doors, they're breaking down barriers and paving the way for a world where technology and innovation go hand in hand. Alright folks, so let's jump right into it. Strap yourselves in, because we've got some exciting news fresh off the press. Rivian, the trailblazing electric vehicle manufacturer, is making waves once again, but this time, they're making moves that could reshape the charging landscape. That's right, Rivian's making headlines by offering adapters that are going to allow their users to be able to access Tesla's supercharging network. But hold on to your seats, folks, because this announcement isn't just a game changer. It's a seismic shift in the EV charging paradigm. Now, where do we get this juicy tidbit from? None other than TechCrunch. According to the report, Rivian users will soon have the ability to tap into Tesla's vast supercharging network just by purchasing an adapter. And guess what? They're not even alone in this endeavor. Ford, being the savvy contender that it is, dipped its toes into the water by first offering North American standard charging adapters for free for the last month. But Rivian's not trailing too far behind. Starting in April, they'll be shipping these adapters to Rivian owners, one per VIN at no cost. But here's the million-dollar question. Will Rivian charge a fee for these adapters? Well, that remains to be seen, dear listeners. Ford's already kind of set the precedent by announcing that they'll be charging $230 per adapter, and that's set to take place after June 30th. Could Rivian follow suit? Only time will tell. Now let's talk strategy, folks. Rivian's decision to offer these adapters isn't just about convenience. It's a strategic move in this electrifying chess game. With virtually every major automotive manufacturer offering NACS compatibility, it's clear that in North America, at least, Tesla's charging infrastructure is becoming the standard. But wait, there's more. Rivian's not just relying on Tesla's network. They're also beefing up their own charging infrastructure with Rivian's Adventure network. As of now, they've got 424 fast chargers in operation across 70 stations in 22 states. This is no small feat, folks. Rivian's carving out its own path in the charging arena while simultaneously hitching a ride on Tesla's supercharger network. It's a bold move, but one that could pay dividends in the long run. And let's not forget about the customers, dear listeners. With access to Tesla's supercharger network, Rivian owners now have 15K superchargers at their disposal, access to 15 Super-K chargers at their disposal. Talk about convenience, but let's not discount what Rivian's trying to do in the charging space. After all, diversity in charging solutions is key to accelerating electric vehicle adoption. So what's next for Rivian? Well, they've got their eyes set on the future. The next generation of vehicles will come equipped with Tesla charging tech, ensuring seamless compatibility for years to come. And with the R2 SUV slated to ship with the NCS charging port in 2026, Rivian's future is looking brighter than ever. And there you have it, dear listeners. Rivian's move to offer compatibility with Tesla's charging infrastructure is shaking up the EV market, shaking it up in ways we've never seen before. But hey, that's the beauty of innovation, isn't it? It keeps us on our toes, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Picture this, a gathering of titans at the China EV100 forum, bustling with the heart of Beijing. Among them stands CEO Li Bin, chairman and founder of NIO, ready to shake up the EV industry with a thunderous call to action. But first, let's tip our hats to the source, CNEV Post, for shining a spotlight on this story. Now let's rev up our engines and peel back the layers of Li Bin's electrifying proclamation. He's sounding the alarm on a ticking bomb, the impending expiration of warranties on nearly 20 million new energy vehicles over the next 8 years. Talk about a shock to the system. Li's rallying cry, a focus on extending battery life. He's not just talking the talk, he's sparking a revolution, pushing for batteries that can go the distance up to 15 years. But here's the kicker, it's going to take an all-out blitz from the entire EV industry to actually make change happen. Now let's shift gears and zoom out on the matter, warranties. These safeguards have been the lifeline for new electric vehicle consumers, or new energy vehicle consumers, I should say. But as they start to fizzle out, drivers could be stranded with hefty bills for battery replacements. The stakes are sky high, especially when you're talking about jaw-dropping costs for battery electric vehicles. And that's not all. Li Bin shining a spotlight on the murky waters of battery warranties. The current standards, they're running on fumes, with most companies pulling the plug if a battery's capacity runs below 70%. It's a cautionary tale for safety concerns and protection for consumers. But fear not, Li isn't content to sit idly by. He's heading the charge with NIO's groundbreaking long-life battery strategy. Picture batteries that defy the odds, lasting a whopping 15 years with no less than 85% capacity. That would definitely be a game changer for the industry. Li's trying to set the standards, and he's urging everyone to join in on the fight. It's a rallying cry for unity and a call to arms in the battle for a more electrifying future, and a call to arms in the battle for a more sustainable future. And with that, we've reached the finish line of today's pulse-pounding episode of Courtside Financial. But before we hit the brakes, remember this. Li Bin proclaims it's not just feasible, but it's our destiny. Picture this, it's May and Nvidia drops a bombshell of a sales forecast, catapulting its market value to beyond $1 trillion. What's the secret ingredient fueling this? Well, you guessed it, it's the H100. This isn't an ordinary chip, it's a game changer, a powerhouse, and it's transforming the landscape of generative artificial intelligence. But let's dial it back a notch. What exactly is the H100 and why is it causing such a frenzy? Imagine a chip so advanced, so meticulously engineered, that it's like having a supercomputer on steroids. The H100 isn't your run-of-the-mill graphics processor. It's a turbocharged engine of computation, packed with a mind-boggling 80 billion transistors, all finely tuned to process data at warp speed. And the best part, it's not just for gaming. It's revolutionizing everything from language translation to code generation. But hold on to your seats, folks, because this is where it gets really exciting. Generative AI platforms are the future, and the H100 is leading the charge. It's 4 times faster than its predecessors at training large language models, and 30 times faster at responding to user prompts. In an era where everything's about speed, the H100 is the Ferrari of the computing world. Sleek, powerful, and built to win. But how did Nvidia snag the pole position in this high-octane race? It's simple. They saw the future before anyone else did. While others are busy playing catch-up, Nvidia was laying the groundwork for revolution. By harnessing the raw power of GPUs and reimagining them as accelerators for AI, Nvidia turned the impossible into reality. And now they're not just leading the pack, they're lapping the competition. But what about the competition, you ask? Well, let me tell you. They're not just sitting on the sidelines twiddling their thumbs. Tech titans like Intel and AMD, they're throwing everything that they've got into the ring. But so far, they're struggling to keep pace with Nvidia's relentless innovation. With a stranglehold of 80% of the AI accelerator market, Nvidia isn't just a contender, it's the undisputed heavyweight champion right now. In the fast-paced world of technology, it's definitely adapt or perish. Nvidia isn't just adapting, they're thriving. The H100 is more than a chip, it's a symbol of progress for the company, a beacon of innovation, and a testament to the power of human ingenuity. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because the ride's just getting started and Nvidia is leading the wave with their H100 GPU. It's the moment we've all been waiting for, Tesla's full self-driving beta V12. It's hit the streets and the buzz is palpable. Elon Musk himself dubbed it as mind-blowing. But before we hit the autopilot button, let's pump the brakes. Let's dissect what this update truly means for the future of driving. Picture this, instead of traditional programming, Tesla introduces end-to-end neural nets. That's right, we're talking about letting cutting-edge artificial intelligence take the wheel, guiding your ride with the finesse of a seasoned pro. It's the stuff of science fiction that's today brought to life, happening right now in the palm of your hands. But here's the kicker, despite the hype, we've got to remember that FSD Beta V12 is still in its experimental form. This isn't a case of kick back, relax, and let the car do all the work. No folks, this is a level 2 driver assistance system, which means that you're still the captain of the ship. Keep those hands on the wheel because the road ahead is full with many twists and turns. Now let's address the elephant in the room, feedback. While Musk might be singing praises, not everyone in the room is aboard the hype train just yet. Anonymous comments shared with our source Electric paint a picture of promised tempered reality. Sure, the updates show improvement in performance in regards to basic maneuvers, but there's still some fine-tuning needed, especially when it comes to lane selection and updating map data. It's moments like these that remind us of the power of constructive criticism. Innovation is never about just resting on our laurels. It's about pushing boundaries and striving for excellence. As one commenter wisely points out, fixing lane selection logic and map data could be the key to unlocking the true potential of FSD Beta V12. So as we hurtle down the highway of progress, let's keep our eyes on the roads ahead. Tesla's Beta V12 may be a leap forward as far as this artificial intelligence neural network full self-driving thing is concerned, but it's up to us to ensure that the journey to actually getting to true full self-driving is as safe as possible. With great innovation comes great responsibility, and it's time for us to rise to the occasion. Picture this, a high-stakes showdown between global giants. Billions of dollars on the line and the fate of social media hangs in the balance. That's the scene set by the House's TikTok bill, currently sending shockwaves throughout the business world. But here's the kicker, it isn't just an ordinary corporate transaction. We're talking about the race against the clock. A nail-biting 6-month deadline for ByteDance to unload TikTok. Can they pull off the deal of the century in record time? Or are we heading for a showdown of epic proportion? Experts are calling it the ultimate test of acrobatics. Imagine trying to untangle a $150 billion behemoth, all while dodging legal landmines and navigating the tricky world of international geopolitics. It's like threading a needle in a hurricane. Now some might say, hey, it's just a sale, right? Wrong. This isn't your run-of-the-mill transaction. We're talking about a deal so complex, so fraught with challenges, even the boldest of buyers might think twice before diving in. But fear not, dear listeners. The lineup of potential buyers reads like a who's who of business heavyweights. From former Treasury secretaries to video game moguls, everyone wants a piece of the TikTok pie. But can they stomach the price tag and the regulatory tape? And let's not forget our friend across the pond, China. They're not exactly thrilled about the prospect of parting ways with one of their crowned jewels. They're ready to play hardball and the stakes couldn't be any higher. So where does TikTok go from here? Will it be a whirlwind of romance with a happy ending, or are we in for a messy breakup? And what does that mean for the millions of users that have made TikTok their virtual playground? Picture this, you're scrolling through your LinkedIn feed connecting with industry leaders, and suddenly a new door opens. Gaming. That's right folks, LinkedIn is set to launch a gaming experience like no other. But why gaming, you ask? Well, strap in because we're about to dive into the intricacies of this story. According to exclusive intel from TechCrunch, your go-to hub for all things technology, LinkedIn is set to unleash gaming on its platform. Forget what you're used to. Get ready for a fusion of professional networking and pulse-pounding entertainment. With over 1 billion users on its network, LinkedIn isn't just thinking outside the box, they're redefining the game. But what kind of games are we talking about here? Think puzzles, challenges, and brain teasers galore. We're talking about games like Queens, Inference, and Cross Climb. Some games that might have you on the edge of your seat. It's not just about scoring points, it's about sparking connections and starting conversations like never before. Now here's where it gets interesting. LinkedIn isn't venturing into uncharted territories alone. Microsoft, the powerhouse behind Xbox and Activision Blizzard, sits in LinkedIn's corner. LinkedIn's gaming ambitions are going to reach stratospheric heights. This isn't just a game changer, it's a revolution. But wait, there's more. While giants like Facebook have dipped their toes into the gaming waters, LinkedIn is charting its own course with a laser focus on professionals and business. LinkedIn's gaming ventures promise to be unlike anything we've seen before. It's not about just likes and shares, it's about leveling up your career. So what does that mean for you, the LinkedIn user? Get ready to unleash your inner gamer while also simultaneously expanding your professional network. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a fresh-faced graduate, LinkedIn's gaming venture is your ticket into a world of all new opportunities. As excitement builds and anticipation reaches a fever's pitch, one thing's clear, LinkedIn isn't just about playing the game, it's rewriting the rules. So strap in, hold on to your hats, and get ready to redefine your own LinkedIn experience. A room buzzing with anticipation as radio titans gather for the country radio seminar. But instead of the usual industry pleasantries, they're hit with an unexpected bombshell revelation. According to research published by Professor Jada Watson, the airwaves have been dominated by a staggering 96.5% white artist. It's a wake-up call that's shaking the very foundations of country music. And just when you thought the storm has passed, enter Queen Bee herself, Beyonce, making an unexpected pit stop in this territory. With a banjo in hand and some twang in her voice, she sent shockwaves throughout the industry with her country-infused single during the Super Bowl. But not everyone seems to embrace this sonic revolution. As her new single Texas Hold'em climbs the charts, Beyonce's single sparked a wildfire of controversy. From an Oklahoma radio station initially refusing to play her song, industry insiders are left grappling with the implications. Definitely a showdown of epic proportions here, or merely a passing chord in the symphony of country music. Amidst the chaos, voices of dissent rise from the shadows. They warn against tokenism and urge caution in the face of upheaval. But for artists like Julie Williams and Brayland, this isn't just about one superstar. It's about rewriting the narrative for Black artists in the genre of country music. They're seizing the moment to demand a seat at the table and a voice in the chorus of country music's future. Yet, as the dust settles and echoes of CRS fade away, the question remains, will country music dance to the rhythm of change? Or will it cling to the familiar melody of the past? It's a battle between tradition and innovation, with the fate of country music hanging in the balance. That's going to be it for this episode of Week in Recap for the Courtside Financial Podcast. If you found any of this information valuable, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and definitely leave a comment down below. Genuinely interested in hearing what you guys think about these this new style of videos that we're doing. Anyways, that's going to be it. I'll catch you guys next time.